nice and relaxed. Don't get nervous, because there's only 20 seconds to go if anybody wants to.
VTR Thames 10313, part 1, take 1.
Dirty as a dustbin lid. When he hears the things you did, you'll get a belt from your dad.
Are you there, Mrs. Clarkson?
Who's... Oh, no, it's Father Bunlow.
Don't be blasphemous. Come in, Father.
I expect he's come on the scrounge.
He's probably just doing his parish calls.
Get away. You lot are always on the scrounge.
Good morning. I hope you don't mind me coming in the back way.
Oh, not at all, Father. I don't believe you've met my Billy.
How do you do?
Father Larkin.
I do.
Won't you sit down, Father?
Thank you.
Would you like a drink?
I will.
Some tea?
Oh, I see. Well, I wouldn't say no. Well, Mr. Clarkson, I can't recall seeing you at Mass on Sundays.
No, you bloody think not.
What's your language in front of the Father? We're mixed, you see, Father.
Mixed?
Like licorice, all sorts.
He's not one of us, you see.
Oh, I see.
Well, I shan't be a minute. I'll just go and pour some hot water on the pot.
Ah, thank you very much. So you're one of our separated brethren?
No, I'm Church of England.
Which one?
Well, there's only one, isn't there?
No, I meant which particular church do you attend? St. Luke's or St. James?
Oh, I don't go to church.
Oh, I see.
Well, I mean, you can pray. You don't have to go to church to pray. You can pray just as well here in my own house.
And do you?
Do I what?
Pray here, in your house?
Oh, no, but I could have wanted to, couldn't I?
There you are, Father. I've sugared and stirred it.
Ah, thank you very much. Well, you're probably wondering why I called. It's about your son, Raymond.
What's the little bug... little devil been up to?
I'm afraid he's been writing rude things on the blackboard.
What sort of rude things?
Well, I can't tell you exactly, but it concerned a certain Sister Anna and what she could do with her banner.
Cheeky monkey.
Unfortunately, we do have a Sister Anna in the convent, and she's taken it rather personally.
Lord, look sidewoods on him. Raymond!
Yes, ma'am.
Get down here!
In a minute.
No!
This would never have happened if he'd gone to a Protestant school.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow your reasoning.
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? We don't have any Sister Annas or convents, so he wouldn't have written what he did.
Oh, hello, Father.
Hello, Raymond. I expect you know why I'm here?
Well, if it's about the statue of Our Lady, I can explain.
Our Lady?
Yeah, you see, I was only trying to see whether her candles were properly lit. But, I leant too far over, and her halo came off in my hand.
Very interesting.
That's not what Father Larkin's come about.
Oh. Well, if it's about the hole in your cassock, it was an accident. You see, I was only hanging it up, and the kotak went straight through.
Congratulations, you just got your hat trick.
If I were you, I'd keep me trap shut before you incriminate yourself any further.
And I think you'd better come with me.
What for?
To apologize to Sister Anna.
Oh. Thought I'd rub that off.
You go with Father Larkin, and don't come back until you've been to confession.
Well, thank you very, very, very much for the tea. See you at Mass tomorrow. Hey, I shall pray for you. Go on, Raymond.
What do you mean you pray for me?
For your soul, so she'll be converted.
Converted? You make me sound like North Sea gas. Anyway, you can keep his bloody prayers. I'm quite happy the way I am.
Well, I pray for you every Sunday.
Yeah, well, you've no need to. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, but what about when we die? I mean, I'll go to heaven and you'll go to the other place for all eternity.
What, you mean we'll never be together again?
No, not never.
Well, that's another good reason why I should stay as I am.
Thank you very much.
Get away. I was only joking.
Yeah.
Morning.
Oh, hello, what's up? What's the matter? Couldn't you sleep? It's not 12 o'clock yet.
I'm going out.
Another of your fancy bits, I suppose.
Well, actually, it isn't. As a matter of fact, I wanted to speak to you both about it.
It's not a fella, is it?
No, nothing like that. She's definitely female.
Well, what do you want to speak to us about then?
Well, Sheila and I, but that's her name, Sheila. Well, we've only been out a couple of times, but already we've got a very meaningful relationship.
He means he's put her in the club.
I haven't put anybody in the club. With Sheila and I, it's more a coming together of minds rather than bodies.
Sounds serious.
It is, but there's something you ought to know about Sheila.
Is she Catholic?
No, she isn't.
Ah, well, don't worry, Tony. I mean, mixed marriages do work. I mean, take your dad and me. We have our ups and downs, but we're very happy, really. I've nothing against Protestants.
Oh, she's not a Protestant either.
She's not Jewish, is she?
No, she's nothing. Well, she's an atheist. Anyway, it's got nothing to do with religion.
It's her colour, isn't it?
Eh?
You're trying to tell us she's got a touch of the tar brush.
No, she's white.
Well, there must be something.
There is something.
Well, what the bloody hell is it?
She's 48.
Hey, she's
Well, I know she's a bit older than me.
a bit older? She's old enough to be your bloody mother. In fact, she's older than your mother.
Age doesn't matter.
Well, of course it matters. By the time you're 30-odd, she'll be drawing her old age pension.
Yeah, and what about the physical side?
What physical side?
Well, you know, women go off it sooner than us fellas. I mean, when you're in your prime, she'll be way past it. I mean, one good jump and she could snuff it.
I've told you we're not interested in physical things. We're on a spiritual plane. She's only seduced my intellect.
And where does she live, this intellectual seductress?
Childwall.
Oh, posh, eh?
Oh, yes. I mean, she's quite well off. Her husband died a few years ago and left her well provided for. Big house, chauffeur, part-time gardener who comes in 3 times a week and does a bit.
Sounds like Lady Chatterley.
Well, that's it, isn't it?
That's what?
He's a bloody gigolo.
Oh, no, it couldn't be.
Well, it's obvious. Wealthy woman, hasn't had it for a couple of years. Healthy young man comes along and bingo!
I knew you wouldn't understand. It's a waste of time talking to you. To you, a relationship is something you do on a dark night in a back entry. Well, it's different with Sheila and me. It's pure and clean and undefiled. And I don't care what you say.
Perhaps you're having a nightmare, Billy. Perhaps if I close my eyes and open them in a few minutes, we'll be both back in bed.
Perhaps he's overdone it at that college and his mind's gone.
Hey? What's up with our Tony? He's gone off in a shocking mood.
Well, we're not exactly chuffed ourselves.
Oh, dear, I hope he hasn't upset you.
Ah, it's very nice of you, but he's so concerned, Bernadette, but I wouldn't let it worry you.
Yeah, well, I am worried. I wanted you both to be in a good mood.
What for?
Well, I've got something to discuss with you, personal like.
Oh, don't tell us. You're going out with a 92-year-old black man of Chinese descent.
It's serious, is this, Dad?
What is it, love?
Well, like I said, it's personal.
Well, that's all right. I mean, we are your parents. You can tell us.
Well, that's what I said to myself. They are your parents, I said, and parents are understanding.
Yeah, of course we are, aren't we, Billy?
Oh, yeah, very understanding.
Now, come on, sit down and tell us all about us.
Well, you won't shout at me, will you?
No, of course we won't.
Oh, you will, I know you will.
We won't.
Catholics' honour.
Catholics' honour.
Catholics' honour, you won't shout at me.
Catholics' honour, I won't shout at you.
I bloody will if you don't hurry up and tell us.
No, you won't. Now, come on, tell us all about us.
Well, I think I'm a bit pregnant.
You bloody what?
You shouted!
I should bloody think so, too.
What do you mean, Bernadette? A bit pregnant. You're either one way or the other.
Well, I'm 2 weeks overdue.
Oh, my God.
I'll kill that bloody Gordon.
No, don't go blaming him. It wasn't his fault.
Of course it was his fault. He should have had more sense.
Look, he never laid a finger on me.
It's not his finger we're talking about.
Look, Gordon never touched me. Well, not like that anyway.
Well, he must have done something.
Yeah, your dad's right. Somebody must have done something.
Well, I'm well aware of that.
Well, who did it?
Well, that's just it. You see, I don't know.
Well, how do you mean you don't know?
Well, you remember just before Dad came out to Walton, and I went on holiday with Debbie to Benidorm?
Yeah.
Well, we went out to this beach party one night with a couple of the Spanish waiters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I had too much vino, and all I remember is waking up in this strange room in the hotel.
But who did you wake up with?
Well, no one. Carlos and Franco got up early for work.
Carlos and Franco?
Well, yeah, it was their room I woke up in.
You mean it could have been either one of them?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we'll just have to wait till the baby arrives and see which one of them it looks like.
There's one consolation.
What's that?
At least the father was a Catholic.
Oh, yeah, that's very comforting. Anyway, why aren't you on the pill like everybody else these days?
She can't go on the pill. She's a Catholic. It's a mortal sin.
Well, I suppose it's all right you're having it away, as long as it's not with a Protestant.
There's no need to lose your temper.
You shut your mouth, you're in enough trouble as it is.
I knew you wouldn't understand. It's a waste of time talking to you. When you're supposed to be me parents, but I'd get more sympathy from the Marriage Guidance Council.
Now see what you've done.
That's right, blame me. I get the blame for everything round here.
What's going to happen next?
Next?
Well, they say troubles come in threes.
No, yeah, well, we've had our three. Raymond's graffiti, Tony's old bit of crumpet, and Bernadette's pun on the oven.
That's right. Nothing else can go wrong.
Hey, Mum, Dad, I've got some great news for you.
I don't want to hear about it. What is it?
Well, I went to the convent and I apologised to the sister. And then I had a long chat with Father Larkin, and I've decided to do it.
Do what?
I'm going to become a priest.
Give us another one, will you, Charlie?
Steady on, that's the third in 5 minutes. What are you trying to do? Drown yourself from the inside?
Yeah, it's all right for you. You haven't got my worries.
Cheer up, lad. You know what they say. No matter how black the clouds look down here, somewhere up above them is a clear blue sky.
Thank you, John Betjeman.
My uncle used to say that.
Oh,
He was a window cleaner. He worried about nothing. I can see him now, standing on that window ledge, top floor of the Liver buildings, with his chamois in his hand. Never worry about tomorrow, he said. Just live for today. And he jumped.
what do you mean he committed suicide?
He hadn't much choice. It was either that or be beaten to death. He'd put about 12 women in the club. Very dangerous job, window cleaning.
I thought I'd find you in here. Now, look, drinking isn't going to solve anything. I'll have a stout.
Where did we go wrong, Mary? I mean, where did we go wrong? We had 3 lovely little kids, and look what we've got now. A gigolo, an unmarried mother, and an apprentice priest.
Well, at least the last one's something to be proud of.
Not for me, it isn't.
It's an honour to be called to the priesthood.
Have that one with me, love.
That's her.
And Mary's right. He's been called by God.
Yeah, well, I wish God had kept his mouth shut.
Well, you must admit, Billy, he's improved for the better.
Yeah, that's only your opinion. He's getting on my nerves. I mean, I can't even swear in my own house now. Every time I say bloody, he crosses himself and says, Father, forgive him, for he knows not what he does.
Oh, you should see him. It's like a miracle, Charlie. I mean, only this morning there was our Raymond, his usual mischievous self. And now, just a few hours later, he's a little living saint.
Well, he better watch himself, or he'll be a little dead one.
Father Raymond.
Sounds nice.
Or he could take his confirmation name, Joseph, you know, like after me dad.
Father Joseph.
Or then, on the other hand, he could take a new name when he's ordinated, you know, like Ignatius or Aloysius.
Look, I wish you two would belt up. This is supposed to be a bloody public house, not Christ the King Cathedral.
You watch your language.
Yes, I can't even swear in here now.
Look, we've all got to be more holy in future.
I haven't.
Oh, yes, you have. Our Raymond could be a Monsignor one day.
Or even a bishop.
There's never knowing where he could end up. He could end up as the Pope.
Here, he couldn't, could he?
Oh, aye. Once he's in, he's got as good a chance as anyone else.
I mean, just think of it. One day you could be the Pope's dad.
God help me.
What have you got against him being a priest, anyway?
Well, it's just not natural.
What is?
I mean, spending your life praying and going to church and being good, it's just not natural.
It is for a priest.
Well, they're only human beings.
Oh, no, they're not. Priests are not human beings.
Well, what are they then?
They're special. They're full of grace and sanctified and everything.
I was going to be a priest once.
You never told me that.
Oh, I went in one of those seminaries on a 7-year course. I'm afraid I couldn't stick it.
How long were you there?
2 days.
Soon change your mind, then.
It was the sermon that did it.
What sermon?
Well, this Jesuit came round to lecture us. He was very keen on fornication.
Oh, well, none of us is perfect.
He wasn't for it, you Burke. He was dead against it. Anyway, he lectures on lust and the pleasures of the flesh.
Well, what's that got to do with you not becoming a priest?
Well, the more he went on about it, the more it made me realise what I'd been missing. Excuse me.
That's another thing, you know, Mary. I mean, our Raymond's going to miss all that and all, isn't he?
Oh, what?
All them pleasures of the flesh.
You'd be better off without him.
Yeah, it's just not natural.
I wish you'd stop saying that.
Well, it isn't. I know you don't think priests are human beings, but they must get the urge now and again.
Yeah, when they do, they just say a prayer and it goes away.
Hey, Billy, that phone call was for you. A message from a Mrs. Redfern. She said you can go over this afternoon.
Oh, good.
Hey, are you two timing me?
Now, will I do a thing like that, Mary?
Given half a chance, yes. Who is this, Mrs. Redfern?
Now, it's only the old lady our Tony's gone doolally over. I rang her up early and said I'd come round for a chat. I'm going to try and persuade her to stop seeing him. I mean, we can't have our Tony carrying on with a middle-aged old bag.
Ah.
There you are, madam.
Thank you, Thomas. Are you sure this person didn't say who he was?
Positive, madam. He merely said that he wanted to speak to on rather a delicate and personal matter, madam.
Oh, how intriguing. That could be him now.
Excuse me, madam. The person is here, madam.
Show him in. Hello.
How'd you do?
Come and sit down.
Oh, Tom.
I understand you want to see me on a personal and delicate matter.
Oh, yes, that's quite right.
What is it, Mr.
Clarkson, Billy Clarkson.
Clarkson?
Yes, I'm Tony Clarkson's old fella.
Oh. Oh, I see. Oh, I'm sorry. Tony and I have only been acquainted for a very short time, and we never got around to discussing family.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Can you really?
Oh, yes, very definitely.
Well, what is it you wanted to speak to me about, Mr. Clarkson?
Well, it's like this, Mrs. Redfern.
Why don't you call me Sheila?
Sheila.
And I'll call you William.
That's very nice of me.
Well, shall we get down to it?
I beg your pardon?
What you wanted to say?
Oh, yes, yes, it's about you and our Tony.
Oh, you're worried about the age difference.
Yes, well, I mean, compared with you, he's still very young, really. Not that I'm saying that you're old. Oh, no, you're not. You're very, very lovely.
Oh, do you think so?
Oh, yes, very lovely.
Oh, yes, well, I'm a bit worried about the age difference myself. You see, Tony's a very sweet boy, but he's really very young and inexperienced.
Very. I mean, what you need is someone who knows what it's all about.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more.
I mean, you'll be better off marrying someone more your own age.
Do you think so?
Oh, yes, you don't want a young lad. You want someone older, more experienced. Someone like me.
Like you? Do you really mean that?
Oh, yes, very, very, very definitely.
Oh, well, you know, you're absolutely right. And I agree with what they say about small men.
What's that?
They may be small in stature, but they're big in other ways.
Get away.
Oh, what can I say? You have opened my eyes to the real meaning of life.
Don't mention it. I think I'd better be going.
Oh, missed you? So soon?
Yes, I've got a couple of other things to be looking into.
Pity. Still, never mind. As Vera used to say, we'll meet again.
Vera?
Lynn.
Oh, yes, that Vera. Very true. Well, ta-ra, then.
Au revoir.
No.
Is everything all right, madam?
Everything is perfect, Thomas. You'll be pleased to know that my affair with the young Mr. Clarkson is at an end.
Really, madam?
Yes. I'm going to have an affair with his father.
You should have seen it, Charlie.
Bit of all right, eh?
Oh, not half. What a pair of Bristols.
Big ones, were they?
Fantastic.
Do you reckon you put it up, your Tony, then?
Oh, definitely. If he'd have had a ding-dong with her, he'd have been dead within a week. Mind you, it would have been a lovely way to go.
You're dead right, Billy. I had an uncle who died on the job.
I thought he jumped off the ladder buildings.
No, this was a different one. He was a knocker-up. He had the biggest pole in Pizzagoli.
That must have been nice for him.
Anyway, he tapped at this window one morning, and this Judy invited him in for a quick knee trembler.
Lucky shot.
Well, not really. While he was at it, he had a heart attack.
Excitement was too much for him, eh?
No, her husband came home unexpected. Fancy a jar?
Thought you'd never ask.
Ah, well, cheer up, Billy. You've solved your Tony's problem.
Yeah, but I haven't solved the problem of the mother-to-be, to say nothing of Raymond, the father-to-be.
Oh, there's nothing you can do about Raymond. Not now he's had the call.
It's a big disappointment to me, you know. I thought he was going to make something of his life. I mean, be a credit to his mum and dad. I mean, go down in history, become someone famous.
You mean go in for politics, like?
No, play for Liverpool.
Thought you wanted him to be famous.
You bloody watch it, you're liable to get this pint chucked over you.
And how's your Bernadette in her condition? She's still having it?
She's already had it, that's why she's in that condition.
I'm talking about her having the baby.
Oh, yeah. But I'm going to make sure that she's married first.
How?
Well, I was thinking of advertising for a husband just to give the nipper a name, you know. Now, what do you think of this? Wanted, one young, clean-living fella to marry a young lady, slightly used.
You're going to put it in the Echo?
You know, in the Liverpool programme, I don't want to risk an Evertonian applying.
Well, hey, what about that boyfriend of hers, Gordon? He seems a nice lad.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. He could do it for me. And he does support Liverpool.
Yeah. Mary!
In the backyard!
Look, I've done it.
Done what?
I've got our Tony off Fuchs. He's agreed. He's far too young for it.
Ah, you've done well, Billy. Now, about our Bernadette.
Oh, I don't have to worry about her. I've sorted her out, no.
What do you mean you've sorted her out?
Well, on the way back here, I called in the supermarket to see her boyfriend, Gordon.
Yeah, go on.
Well, I thought that if he thought he was responsible for her condition, he'd do the decent thing and marry her.
Well, how did you persuade him he was responsible when he never even touched her?
Oh, well, he has done. Oh, well, he will have done by tomorrow.
What the hell are you talking about?
Well, I gave him permission to seduce her.
What?
Well, I had to do something to prevent her being an unmarried mother, didn't I?
But she's not going to be a mother, unmarried or otherwise.
Eh?
Well, I sent her to the doctors. It was a false alarm.
What do you mean she's not in the club?
No, and as far as I can tell, she never even applied for membership.
You don't understand. Look, will you come here and be seduced?
You touch me, Gordon Baxter, and I'll kick you so hard you won't be able to seduce anyone.
You know what, Dad? I think she's playing hard to get.
Dear, hang on a minute, Gordon. It was all a mistake.
Save your breath. He won't get anywhere with our Bernadette.
Ow!
Dad, you've got a visitor.
It's all right, Dad. I'll get it in the end.
Ah, there you are, William.
Hello.
What's this? Mutton dressed as lamb.
I beg your pardon. Who are you?
I'm Mrs. Clarkson.
Oh, you must be William's mother.
You cheeky bitch. I'm his wife.
His wife? His wife? You never told me you had a wife.
Well, you never asked me.
You despicable little man. You're like all the rest, taking advantage of a poor, lonely woman. I'm glad I found out in time. Madam, you have my deepest sympathy.
What was all that about?
Well, I don't know. But I wonder if it means she's going back to our Tony.
You'll be pleased to hear I've finished with intellectual seduction. I'm going back to the other kind. Come on, Carol.
Oh, yes, please.
Does that answer your question?
Well, at least we're getting back to normal.
Mr. Clarkson, I'm afraid your son's not cut out for the priesthood.
What's the matter with him?
He's drunk.
Drunk?
Yes, he's been at the altar wine.
I was only practicing saying mass. Priest drink altar wine.
Not a whole bottle at once. I'm sorry, Mrs. Clarkson. I'll get the sisters to say a prayer for him. Not that I have much hope of it doing any good.
You're a disgrace to the family.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mum. Anyway, I've decided. I don't want to be a priest.
Well, that's a bit of good news anyway.
I'm going to be a footballer.
That's more like it.
Play for Everton.
Yeah. Bloody hell, that's only you were a priest.